Self-Petition USA provides technology-based drafting solutions. We are not a law firm and do not employ attorneys. For legal advice, always consult a licensed immigration attorney.
Hey, welcome. So if you're tackling the EB-2 National Interest Waiver green card on your own, you already know it can feel, well, pretty complex. In this explainer, we're going to unlock a really powerful tool that can help demystify the whole process for you. This is it. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? For so many of you, you're highly skilled professionals, but proving your work has substantial merit and national importance, it just feels so abstract. Honestly, it's the biggest challenge of the entire application. So, how do you even begin to navigate that? Well, the answer is in a resource that, believe it or not, a lot of people overlook. It's the decisions from the Administrative Appeals Office, or the AAO. You can seriously think of them as a kind of secret map, one that shows you exactly what USCIS officers are looking for. Okay, so what is the AAO? It's actually an official part of USCIS, and their whole job is to review immigration petitions that got denied. And here's the key part. When they review a denied EB-2 NIW case, they write up this super detailed record that explains precisely why it was denied. It gives us this direct window into how they think and what they look for. Now, you'll see two types of these AO decisions. First, you've got precedent decisions. These are the big ones. They set binding rules that every single officer has to follow. But honestly, the real goldmine for people like you are the non-precedent decisions. They might only apply to one specific case, but man, they reveal everything. Common mistakes, trends, the kind of evidence that really makes an evaluator sit up and take notice. All right, so by digging into these decisions, we can see exactly why petitions that seem really strong on the surface end up getting denied. Let's break down the most common pitfalls so you can make sure to avoid them in your own application. Okay, the first major hurdle is all about scope. You wouldn't believe how many AAO decisions are just filled with cases where the petitioner's impact was shot down for being too local. You have to remember, the goal here is to prove your work's importance stretches across the entire United States, not just inside your own company. And next up is clarity. So many petitions fail simply because the proposed endeavor, what you plan to do, is just too vague. You can't just describe your current job. No, you have to lay out a really clear plan for your future contributions. Think about it. If the officer reading your file can't understand your plan, there's no way they're going to approve it. Oh, this is a big one. It's not enough to just list your advanced degree or your fancy job title. The AHO is crystal clear on this. You have to prove you are well-positioned to actually succeed in your endeavor. Your education and your job description, that's just the starting point. It's like the price of admission, not the winning argument itself. And finally, you've got to prove that waiving the whole labor certification thing benefits the United States. At the end of the day, if the officer reads your petition and the main thing they get is that you get a green card, it's probably not going to fly. You always have to frame your case around that bigger, broader national benefit. So let's make this real. Here are a few quick examples right from AAO cases. There was a researcher who got denied because all their influence was just inside their own lab. A startup founder, they failed because they only had financial projections. USCIS wanted to see proof of actual job creation. But then you have a physician who succeeded because they clearly showed a public benefit, by committing to work in an underserved area. See the difference? Okay, so we've seen the common problems. That's the bad news. The good news is we can turn all these insights into a real, actionable strategy for building a petition that's going to win. And it really just boils down to these three simple steps. Step 1, research. You've got to study those AAO decisions for cases that are similar to yours. See what worked, see what didn't. Step 2, evidence. Use what you learned to gather really strong, targeted supporting documents. And finally, step 3, frame it. You need to tell a clear, compelling story about how your work benefits the U.S. So, what does that winning evidence even look like? Well, the AAO decisions point to the same kinds of things over and over. We're talking about patents and publications, of course, any awards or media recognition you've gotten. Crucially, strong expert opinion letters from real leaders in your field. And don't forget things like industry endorsements, or even just cold, hard data that shows your impact. These are the documents that do the talking for you. And this quote,
This right here gets to the absolute heart of it all. Petitioners must show that qualified U.S. workers cannot easily fill the role. You see, you're not just proving you're good at what you do. You have to prove that your unique skills make you so valuable that it's actually in the nation's best interest to just waive the whole standard process.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. What are the key takeaways here? When you look at what the AAO decisions are telling us, what does a winning petition really look like? It really comes down to these three pillars. First, you have to, absolutely must, demonstrate that broad national impact. Second, you gotta back that claim up with a solid track record of past success. And third, you gotta show why your skills are so unique and so essential to making your plan happen right here in the US. At the end of the day, your goal here isn't just to, submit some paperwork. It's to build a rock-solid argument. An argument that's so well structured that it sees the potential weaknesses and addresses them before the USCIS officer even has a chance to question them. And by using these AAO decisions as your guide, you can line up your case perfectly with what they expect to see. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one thought. Proving your expertise, that's usually the easy part for people like you. The real challenge, and honestly, the real key to getting approved, is proving your impact. So the question isn't just, are you an expert? It's how will you prove your impact? Thanks for tuning in, and good luck building your strongest case.